Page 16, Funiculi, Funicula. It's a happy little song. 6/8 time, we got one flat in the key signature. We're in the key of F major. Make sure you can do the F major scale, at least one octave up and down. Gonna take it one hand at a time, make sure we get the fingering and the notes and all. We're counting eighth notes, which means a dotted quarter note is the same as 3 eighth notes, right? Always. So it's gonna get 3 counts here. A dotted half note is the same as 6 eighth notes. Just take my word for it, it is. It takes the whole measure, is what it is. So we get that at the beginning. With 2 here, we're in this position. So it's 4, 5, 6. 4, 5, 6, 1. And you're going to hold that down for 8 counts. Isn't that lovely? And then going on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Rest. Now there's a difference here. Look out. I don't know if it's intentional or not, but we'll just do what the music is telling us to do. The last measure, the first line, those are eighth notes and quarter notes. But then when you get to the next line, you got rests in there. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. There's a difference. Make sure you do the difference. The left hand has rest all the time. So it's like in one measure, the right hand is different than the left, and the next, both have rest at the same time. And this happens throughout, so be careful on this. So second line, we're here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2. Third finger. You do that some more. Go down to the last line on page 16. So you're here, and then 4, 5, 6, and then they want second finger. 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2. Now B naturals. And that natural sign, remember, is good for the rest of the measure. So both of those B's in each of those measures are flat, are natural. Then page 17 at the top, reach down, it's 1. You can clap the hand once you get there. I don't like using thumb on all those. Some people do, it's fine, but I prefer to do a 1, 2, 1, 2. I just alternate here. However you choose to finger it is fine, but that's the way I usually do it. Then at the end of the line, you're here, and then next line is a 3. And you're using 3. Reach down for the next line. Again, I'm going to use a 1, 2. And then for the fourth line, where the chorus is, you have a 3, 5, and here, don't forget the B flat. Try and connect them, and try and get them down at the same time. I'm lowering the hand, letting the weight push it down, and when I go to play the next one, I raise the wrist up and lower the wrist. As I lower the wrist, I lower the weight, and I simply switch fingers. The weight pushes the notes down. Here. Now, I don't know why on the third measure they want fourth finger on that. To me, that's tricky. I don't recommend that. I'll just reach up with a little finger and use fifth finger. You can do that. That's fine. Then going on, it's just 3 and 5 again. Now in the next line, they're telling you fifth finger. So maybe that fourth finger indication in the line above it, fourth line down, third measure, maybe that's an error and it should be 5. I don't know why they want fourth finger on that. I don't understand that. And then for the next to the last line, the last 3 measures on all those A's, I'm going to do a 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. You know, I mean, you can use 1, 3 if you want. Doesn't matter what you do, just I don't want to use thumb on all those. And then go on. Now for the last 4 measures at the bottom, you're here, cross over 2, and fifth finger, like so. Left hand. Well, the left hand has the chords 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2. That's fun. We have the second line, third measure, here and then here. It's a 5/7 chord. Make sure you play the rest. It's pretty much what you're doing until you get to the bottom of page 16. Now you're here, in the second measure you're here, 2, 4, and then here. That ugly chord, that's just E, G sharp, D. You do that for a while. You get to page 17, second line, you come up here. In the second measure, that chord, the second chord is a G, a B natural, and an F, and an F. You can finger that 4 here if you want, but when we're doing this, it's easier just to use third finger, it's there. Now watch out, because there's no G there. Go down to the fourth line where the chorus is. From the measure before, you're here. So you want that C way down there, and you just lift up and move. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2. I come out each time to play the C. I don't like keeping my hand up in here. It's a bit awkward. So I come out to play it, and I go back in to play that, and then back out to play that. It can be fun. Next line down, this is the last 2 lines there. You're here, and then here, and for the last 2 measures, or the next to the last line, you have an E, a G, and a C sharp. You can do a 5/4-2 if you don't want to put your hand up in here and you got big hands. If you got little hands, that fingering is fine. Or here. And then next one is an F, an A, and a D. Last line is a G, C sharp, and an E. And then go on, you just move. You're coming from here to here. Broken chords. Now, for the last 4 measures at the bottom, if you want to, you can use 4th finger on the C, if your hand's big enough, and then 5th finger. Put the hands together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. This is what I'm talking about, the difference in the hands and the rests. At first line on page 16, last measure, you have rest in the left hand. Rest, rest. The right hand is all connected. See, it's all connected. We need to hear that. But in the next measure, the second line there, both hands get rest. And then that third measure, there's no rest there. That's a difference. It gives some contrast between the bouncy and fluid. So be sure and put in the rest or hold it down when there's no rest. It's kind of important. Go through and put it all together like that. I don't know that I have to really play it for you. You can work it out. Just go real slow. Your speed, not mine. Then go back over and get rid of the hesitations. If you're hesitating anywhere, you're moving your hands, whatever, go over those spots. Again, you can go slow, but the beat needs to be a steady beat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Whatever that is, needs to be constant throughout the whole piece. Once you can do that, you can add the articulation, but there isn't really any articulation. You got some slurs and some marcatos. Marcatos, well, better talk about that, huh? Well, the slurs, the curved lines are not necessarily slurs. They're more like phrase marks, because sometimes you don't connect the notes in a phrase. Even though it has a curved line, you might still have silence in there. You don't connect it all the way through. For instance, in the second line on page 16, you see the curved line across. That's for the phrase, but you've got rests in there. So you got to play the rest. So even though it's got a curved line over it, there's silence. So I think throughout this piece, the way it's written, these curved lines are all more for phrases and slurs. So treat them as phrases, musical sentences. Now, for the marcatos, it's on page 16, it's the last two lines at the bottom, the next to the last line. In the second measure, on the G, there's a little caret there, that thing. That's a marcato mark. A marcato is a type of accent. You play it in a marked style. So whatever that means. Let's just keep it simple here. We have the accents, that's the sideways arrows, that you give a little more oomph, just a little louder than where you were. And you have the sforzando, when that's like the loudest accent you have. That's like a major accent. Well, the marcato is in between. It's a strong accent, but not real strong, you see? So on that measure, on that G, play it out. It's more than an accent, it's a loud accent. And that's what you get this on page 17, you get some too. It's on the third line down. So bring out that note with that marcato on it. And that's only for the right hand. I don't see any marcatos marked for the left hand. The left hand needs to be kept in the background. Dynamics, they say medium loud at the beginning. Now here's a trick here. Well, it's not a trick, but we have to keep it in mind. If I start medium loud here, sort of loud, then when the melody comes in, what is it? Is it going to have to be loud? Because I want it louder than the accompaniment. And if the accompaniment is moderately loud, then it's going to have to be loud. No. A couple of ways of doing it. One is the accompaniment starts out moderately loud, and the moment the melody comes in, it comes in moderately loud, and the accompaniment immediately drops down. So overall, it's moderately loud, either for the intro on the left hand or for the melody when it comes in. Getting into interpretation, some people will start it out moderately loud and then diminuendo down to moderately soft. So when the melody comes in, it comes in moderately loud. You blend it together. Whatever. Different ways of interpreting it. And it takes a lot of control to do this. You need to experiment with it, but it's good control. So yeah, try it. I suggest, if you can, come out moderately loud. And the moment you play that C, drop the left hand down. This needs to be as loud as that at the beginning. So we want to hear the melody. Keep the left hand in the background after the melody comes in. Now when you get down to the bottom of the page 16, second measure, there's a piano there. And you think, well, that piano is close to the bottom staff, it must belong to that. No. The piano belongs to the melody. The P belongs to the melody. They put it lower down because there's words in there and there's not room to put it there. So it's below it. So this is soft. The melody, the left has to be very soft. So if the first measure is moderately loud, however, I think the soft belongs on the first measure on the second note. You're finishing the phrase here and starting a new one, but I, and the soft belongs there. So I suggest you put the P one note earlier than that. So to demonstrate, let's go back to the fourth line down, the last two measures. We're still moderately loud here. top of page 17. Now you come up to moderately loud, but that's for the 8th note. So the first one is moderately soft, the first beat, and then moderately loud. And you stay moderately loud then until you get to the chorus. You go up to loud. The left hand needs to be under it somewhere. Then you echo that very soft. See that at the bottom, the crescendo up to loud, soft. And then immediately back down to moderately soft. The left hand's very soft. The dynamics in this piece are suggestions. Get to know it and how do you feel it. But you need some louds and softs in there. Don't play it all about the same. There's got to be some contrast. Then speed-wise, well, it's a happy piece. Depends on how much wine I've had as to what that's going to go. So it's somewhere in there, but it needs to be accurate. So now they've added some pedal in this, and we need to understand why are we pedaling this. Because we don't pedal this stuff with rest in it. We want that to bounce along. The pedal would mess that up. But then whenever you get over to the middle of page 17, when the chorus comes in or right before it, then we pedal all of that. Well, what's that about? Well, a couple of things. One is the chorus is the exciting part of it. And by adding pedal here, we're adding overtones and we're making it exciting. Oh boy, here we go. The other one is it's a contrast between the connected, the smooth, the legato of the chorus and the bouncy of the verse. And the pedal helps to bring out that contrast between them. It's going to be overlapping pedal, and you can pretty much pedal it like they're showing, but if you like to hear some phrasing and all, then you need to lift the pedal up with the right hand so that you hear phrasing. So in the third line down, the last measure, you do that. Push the notes down, then the pedal. And then change it on the next line. I don't care for the pedal in the end because it's blurry. I don't like the blurriness. So I think on that one, I would pedal it with each note in the left hand. So that takes out some of the blurriness. So the last two lines you're here. You have to listen very carefully to the effect the pedal is having to the sound and experiment with it. Now, as I said, if you want to hear the phrasing, you got to lift the pedal up with the right hand. Well, if I do that, then the chorus sounds like this. So I'm going to lift it up. I'm going to lift it up with the right hand. There's different ways of handling the pedal and how it affects the music. You have to experiment and try out different things for yourself. If you're struggling with the notes and the rhythm and all, then leave the pedal out. You don't even need it, but it's up to you. I like to play this with you very slowly, just to check the notes and the rhythm. It's not going to do any dynamics. I will pedal it according to the phrasing on page 17, and let's see how that goes. So I'll give us 6 counts, and let's try it together slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2, 2. Rest, rest. 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 2. 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 2. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. Three, four, five, six. 1, 2, 5, 6. 2, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 5, 6. 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.